Hey everybody, Team Lynnvander here, and we are here for a very exciting video. We are going to show you the Buffy the Vampire Slayer the board game playthrough. So as you can see, we have all of the components here on the board. Everything has been punched out, it's clean, it's crisp, and I believe the first time you're going to see this video is the day that this game gets released worldwide. So it's very, very exciting news. We had a great time working on it. We thank Jasco Games for the opportunity to make this game. And we've got some of the team members here. We've got Dan over here on the right. He's going to be playing Xander. We have Nat over here. Are you playing Giles or Buffy or both?
I mean, I'm playing whichever one you don't want to play.
Oh, I see. So you'll probably be playing Buffy. And then,
that's fair.
And then over here on the left we have Aron. And Aron's going to be playing one of the either Angel, Spike, or Willow.
I'm going to be playing Willow for this playthrough.
Willow, okay, cool. Then I might just watch you guys rock it out. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have Aron start off and teach us a little bit about all of the components, I believe.
Yeah, I'd be more than happy to.
All right, let's do it.
So Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the board game, it's a fully cooperative game for 1 to 6 players that can be played in 40 to 60 minutes. And in this game, what you're doing is you're working together as Buffy and her allies that we've already introduced, and you are fighting monsters of the week to uncover the big bad's plot and save the townies of Sunnydale before the apocalypse track fills up and the Hellmouth opens up. So with that in mind, we've gone ahead and set up the game. There are 4 of us playing, so we've set up for 4 players. What that means in this case is that we've each grabbed our character along with a starting item, and we've dealt out 4 event cards, reading the spawn locations on the cards, which tell us where to place townies and demons or vampires on the map.
So here, for example, it says here, this event says, a demon terrorizes the Restfield Cemetery. And the Restfield Cemetery is sitting up there. And so Nat has put a little demon token. We got these cool demon and vampire tokens. And then it also says a vampire lurks at Angelus's mansion. It's not Angel, is it? There we go, Angelus's mansion. And then it also says, place this card beside the game board until the end of the round. This effect we're just not going to bother with because it doesn't matter at the beginning. So I'll put that over there.
Now, one interesting note on that card is that it said a demon terrorizes and it said a vampire lurks at. That's because this game uses natural language wherever possible. So even though those abilities have different wordings, they do essentially the same thing.
All right, so we've also chosen a big bad that we're going to face off against here.
Boom, 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 boom. Since it's the first time running through the game, we figured we'd go through the very first big bad.
Yeah, the Master's the easiest one to actually learn how to play the game with because he has, in my opinion, the most straightforward rules associated with him, and his pluck cards, which are underneath these Monster of the Week cards, are the most straightforward. You also get Monsters of the Week, and we're going to be going through and fighting 3 Monsters of the Week over the course of this game. And then after we've defeated the 3rd Monster of the Week and gathered the 3rd clue token, the Master himself shows up and we have to fight him.
Now, how do the clue tokens work? How do we gather those?
Oh, well, when we kill these Monsters of the Week here, when we murder them by bringing their little recipe here, so each of them has a recipe. So Darla has holy water and garlic, and then you have to walk up to her and you have to do a check. Now, doing a check means you flip a card from the event deck and you see if you can match one of these symbols. There are 3 symbols in the game. There's pentagram, there's onks, and then there's the all-seeing eye.
Ooh.
Now, so all your checks have a 2/3 chance of winning, and your Monsters of the Week have their own special abilities. So for Darla, during monster activation, she actually
follows normal monster activation and then activates a 2nd time. Darla's a pain in the butt.
So, yeah, so she moves twice instead of once, and she's harder to kill than a normal vampire, which is a problem.
So each of the big bads that you choose, and there are 6 of them to choose from, each of the big bads have a different flavor. That flavor is going to completely paint the game in a different way. For example, the Master here says, at the end of each round, a vampire lurks at each location containing a clue token. So the more Monsters of the Week you defeat and their clue tokens remain on the board, the more dangerous the Master becomes. When the Master reveals himself, place him in the Hellmouth, then check a pentagram for every 2 vampires on the board. For each success, add 1 townie to the apocalypse track. So they've got all these different cool abilities that you can actually fire off. So what happens next? We got our big bad. He's staying in hiding until we discover the plots. We've got the Monsters of the Week, and their first one is already out at Restfield Cemetery. Looks like she's got a couple demon friends working with her.
Oh yeah, there was just an unfortunate spawning.
I'm actually glad you touched on the apocalypse track because that brings us to our main lose condition for the game. There's 2 ways it can fill up. Every time a vampire or a demon eats one of these townies, That goes on the Apocalypse track and can never be removed by any means.
Pretty cute townie. We'll put them there.
The other way that things can be added to the Apocalypse track is whenever a vampire or demon attacks a character, one of the townie tokens gets flipped over and a wound gets placed on the Apocalypse track. These function identically with the exception that there are certain abilities in the game that will allow you to heal the players, removing wounds from the Apocalypse track.
But you can't ever get rid of these guys.
That's right.
Oh, so if you kill them, they're done.
Now, if the track ever reaches end by any means, the game is lost. The other markings on the track are just indicators of how well you did in the game. So if we manage to beat the game when there are 6 or less townies on the track and we are slayers,
The best you can get.
if there's 9 or less, we're Scoobies. And if we get right to the end where it's down to the wire, we're townies. So we still save the day, but we're not up there with Buffy and her crew.
That's all right.
Exactly.
And just before we start, so we're going to look at the item cards and the artifacts. So item cards are things that we can pick up, and you see this look on the location. There are ways we can fetch or tutor for cards. And then there's ways to just randomly take cards here. Each character can carry 3 with the exception of Giles, who can hold 4. And then there's also artifact cards, which are like item cards but with special abilities. All right. We also each have 3 actions and 1 special action. Once you use an action, we flip it over and it's used, and each character has what the actions can be used for. And once the special is used, we also have to use flip over an event card.
And that gives us what our next monsters are. And notice there's 4 symbols on here. There's an eye, a fist, what looks like a location symbol on a Google map, and then we have a cross or a plus of some sort. Do you know what do those represent?
The represents what kind of actions that can be used. So like the eye is search, which lets you draw item cards at the location. Fights lets you stun a vampire or slay a monster or do a big bad or whatever we need to do for that. The location lets you use the location ability, and that's what's on the location. You see the location has the same symbol there. And move lets you move to any location on the board.
Also, these arrows you don't actually have to you can move, your characters can move anywhere, but I guess the arrows are on the board for...
That's for the AI on the monster tokens.
Oh, awesome.
We should also note that some cards actually give you additional things that you can do with your actions. So the wooden stake, you can use your fight action to dust a vampire instead of just stunning it. And then it also has a discard effect. So instead of using your action to do that, on your turn you can discard the card.
Mitigating action economy.
Exactly.
Right. Okay, so we've got the board set up. Do you want to dig in?
Yeah. All right.
Who wants to go first?
Also, your special can be used for any of these 4 actions.
So you don't have to use the special ability of your character.
Right. Now, no matter what you use your special token for, you still draw an event card.
Exactly.
And the special token will be used every round. So it's really important to figure out what your timing is for using that ability.
Right.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
a fan of using your specials early in the round so you have more time to deal with the monsters that are spawned by your special tokens. But I mean, it's a personal preference. You don't actually have to follow that.
So we got this little first turn token over here. Who's going to go first? Do you want to let Dan go first?
Buffy always goes first.
Buffy always goes first.
Yeah, I'm going to take this. All right. And in keeping with what I just said earlier, I'm actually going to use my special right away because I really like Buffy's special. So I get to either attack and move or move and attack.
Okay.
In whichever order I want. And when I do my attack action, I actually just stun everything there and then do the attack.
So I would say right away, I think, oh, you're right beside Darla. You could just go in and get her. But it says you have item requirements, which you don't have. You need a garlic and a holy water. You only have a wooden stake. So,
so
you don't want to run in there and get Darla, though.
Oh, exactly. I don't want that
No.
yet.
So what are you going to do?
Well, I mean, we need garlic and we need holy water, so I'm probably going to go somewhere that has monsters and the things that I need. And I guess since none of those things
Well,
are...
the holy water is over in the catacombs.
Yeah.
And the garlic is in Glorificus Mansion.
Glorificus' mansion. Yeah. So neither of those have the ability to attack or not. But you do have a vampire here in City Hall.
I'm going to jump over here and dust this vampire.
So once you dust the vampire, it just comes off and goes into the pile of vamps.
Yeah.
Done. That vampire's
Now,
done.
I
So your
have used
action's
my
done.
special, so now we're going to activate this event card. So what this does is a demon is now terrorizing Glory's mansion up here.
Ooh, too bad he wasn't out there before. He could have got maximum effort.
Right? And a townie is at Summer's residence.
He came out, he realized it was safe.
Now, if there's currently at least one baddie sharing a location with the character, add 1 wound to the Apocalypse track. Unfortunately, Willow is getting us in a bad place, so now we have a wound on the
Way to
Apocalypse
go,
track.
Willow.
And that's it for that event card. And now it passes off to Giles here. I'm going to also, on Giles, use his special. Giles is special. He gets to draw 4 cards and then choose 2 to keep.
Wow, look at that. So you got what you got? You got a cross, a stake, weapons, and tome. Nice. All right, so what do you get?
All right, so tomes allow me to discard to get artifacts. So I might take a second tome because artifacts are pretty powerful. And I think because we need holy water and garlic it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to take weapons so I have a way to deal with demons.
Done deal.
And these 2 are going to go to the discard pile. And before my turn has quite passed to Dan, I'm going to discard this tomes to grab the top card off the artifact deck. It's the Dagon Sphere. And I can use my special token to activate it, do a check, and if I succeed the check, they can't spawn or change locations into my location at all.
Wow.
For that turn. It's pretty useful. Now, artifacts do take up a space in your hand. So a normal character with 3 cards would be full. Giles, he's a bit special. He gets a 4th card in his hand. So he's not quite full yet. Oh, and now we have to do an event. So now we have a vampire at Glory's Mansion. And we have a townie, a second townie at Summer's residence.
Okay, spawning.
And if there's at least 1 vampire sharing a location with a character, add 1 wound to the
Wow,
apocalypse.
it's like we didn't even shuffle it. So there you go. So we've got 2 wounds. Willow, you're just on the ball.
I mean, I'm just not having a good day.
And I'm going to pass the turn off to Dan.
All right. Well, it looks like things are heating up in the Glorificus mansion, and I need the garlic because I already have the holy water.
Oh, nice.
So I'm gonna.
So you're not choosing to use your special and cause mayhem on the board like.
I think we have enough to deal with. Where
So
did I go?
So he's hanging out at Sunnydale High.
All right.
He's still a high school student.
So you moved in there. You don't get any special things. You just moved in there.
Yes.
So that's your turn.
That's my turn.
All right.
Perfect.
So you're playing Willow for this one.
I'm playing Willow for this one.
All right. So we'll leave Spike and Angel out, but they're just there watching. They're fighting over Buffy right now.
Perfect. So, looking at that vampire in my location that keeps causing us wounds, I really want that to stop happening.
Yeah.
And normally, I would need a stake if I wanted to dust a vampire. Or could use a fight action to just stun it, which would stop it from activating when the monsters finally get to move. But looking at Willow, I actually have an extra use of the basic fight action. So it says here under my special slot that I can fight to slay a baddie in my location if I have magic supplies, which I do.
Oh, she looks like she's casting some sort of fireball, which she has in her illustration.
Exactly. So I'm going to go ahead and blow away that vampire.
Peace.
Good call.
And it's worth noting that even though that's a special ability, because it's marked with the basic purple fight action, that doesn't count as using my special ability and doesn't force us to draw an event card.
That is really helpful.
And that's your action.
That's my action for the
The
turn.
magic box is now free of harm. All right, so it goes back to Buffy.
Yeah. So, as Buffy, I really don't like that this townie's in the bronze. The thing about the bronze is that townies who are there during monster activation turn into vampires. I don't like that, so I'm going to use the City Hall's ability, so my location ability here, and I'm going to choose a townie, I'm going to move it to an adjacent location, and he's just going to run over to Sunnydale High.
Oh, so the fact that that's an adjacent location is why those arrows have to be marked there on the board.
Yeah, that's how that works. And that's my turn for Buffy. I mean, I'm causing problems, not really solving them yet. But we'll get there.
Doesn't that the show though?
I'm going to just use a regular use location on UC Sunnydale here to draw 3 cards as Giles, because Buffy's turn is over and it's Giles' turn now. So I draw tomes, weapons, and I have garlic now, which is good. So I'm probably just going to take this garlic and add it to my hand, because I already have tomes and weapons, and I'm just going to pitch these. And they're going to go over here. And then that's my turn, so you are up again, Dan.
Okay. Well, don't have any weapons.
But I do.
But you do, and you can pass them off to me. But we got to be in the same location.
Yeah, if we're in the same location, we can just freely trade cards back and forth, no problem.
Okay.
What's Xander's special ability?
I can give someone else an action as well as myself. Use it a basic action. So.
So what does Xander's special do again?
Oh, I can give myself and someone else an action.
You want to
without spending an action token.
I like this plan. Do you want to meet up over with Glory, like Giles and Xander?
But I'm already with the garlic. I kind of want garlic.
But I have garlic. I can give you garlic. You can give me. You don't have anything I want. I can give you garlic.
Again, like the show. Giles is giving everything away, and Xander's doing nothing.
Look, if you come hang out with me, I'll give you. If you use your special.
You just want me to use my special. I know you.
Maybe I want my plan to work. Okay.
Okay, I'm just gonna pick up the garlic. All right.
All right. Fine. Oh,
So
wait.
when you pick
can't
it up,
use
you
your
just-
location ability with monsters, can you?
No, that's
Oh,
all right.
all right.
Oh yeah, that's right. Now
So
Nat's
then-
plan's looking really good, isn't it?
I still don't want to use my special
Why not?
because it's special. If you use it willy nilly, it's not special anymore.
Well, yeah, but then all the monsters are on the board, and we can solve the problem.
All right. Give me the garlic now.
You can have this first, though.
Of course. A vampire at Glorificus Mansion.
All right, vampire. Glorious Mansion.
Demon at Summer's Residence.
Holy cow!
You
Glorificus'
guys-
mansion is just a.
If there are no baddies in the Hellmouth, add one vampire to the Hellmouth.
All right. Well, that was a really good card to draw.
All right.
Oh,
That's
here
it
you
for
can have
Zen.
this garlic now.
Brilliant.
There it is. Okay, going back around. Willow.
All right, I see that there's a lot of enemies on the board, and they're starting to become a problem.
You see that, do you?
So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my location ability to search the item deck for a couple of magic supplies, because later in the round I'll be able to use my special ability to start clearing up some of these enemies.
There's one. So you just go through the deck and you find them. Yeah. Whenever you're looking for any sort of item, you just go through, shuffle it up, call it a day.
And if the deck doesn't have enough, go to the discard pile.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
The discard pile is also shuffled back in at the end of every round, so it's not usually an issue.
Oh, so it's not like this is the only supplies you get.
Yeah.
That's right.
The only time it's really an issue is when everybody's sitting on UC Sunnydale and drawing 3 cards and filtering them out.
Yeah.
I guess that makes it Buffy's turn again, eh?
Yeah, that's it for me.
All right. Well, I have done precisely not much, so I'm going to. I'm going to deal with that vampire over at Angelus's mansion so that I can save that townie. Seems like the
Well,
best.
that's very
use of my
altruistic
attack.
of you, Buff.
Oh.
You're really just going to Angelus's mansion to see Angel.
Okay, you say that, but is it true?
We'll see.
It might be true. All right,
Giles.
And now Giles is going to go, and I'm going to use my action and my weapons, because my weapons give me an additional action here, option on my fight action here. They let me slay demons in my location, so I'm just going to murder this demon. It's gone.
Gone. There's
Slay,
still one more
murder,
there.
Natural language.
Go, Giles, go.
All right, Xander, you're up.
So can I fight the monster of the week even though there's a demon there?
Absolutely.
Oh, brilliant. Well, that's all I can do because I don't have anything
Yeah.
else.
Right,
So
so-
I will spend an action.
Yep. And then you flip the event card there. And we're checking it against Ankh or
So we need
Sitting
an
here.
Ankh. Oh. So you discard them, right?
Oh, they're gone now.
That's not
Win or
good.
lose, the items are gone.
Well, my plan didn't really work.
Well, now you're there, and there's no items left to fight it. So it looks like when it activates, Darla's going to get to activate a couple times.
She's going to beat us twice. It's going to hurt.
Yep. Willow, can you do something to save the day?
I can help a little bit, but there's only so much I'm going to be able to do here. So now that I've got 3 magic supplies, I'm going to go ahead and use my special ability. And I can discard any number of magic supplies to defeat vampires or demons anywhere on the board.
Wow.
That
You might want to
seems
thin out the mansion.
like glorious.
Or
man.
I guess.
Well, I definitely want to take out this demon that's threatening these townies.
I like that plan.
So that's 1 magic supplies.
All right.
And then, how are you guys for actions? Are you going to be able to get away from Darla?
I
Yeah,
mean,
they both can.
I'm just going to stand my ground and fight, I think. Or should I run? Should
Well,
I
the
run?
monster of the week's not going to be able to be defeated, so the monster of the week's going to activate
Oh, you
twice
make
and
a
deal
point.
2 wounds, right?
All right, I'll run to UC Sunnydale.
Perfect. In that case, I'm going to take out the vampire at
that was
Angelus's
Buffy's
mansion.
job.
Yeah, but now she's not distracted from her nice visit with Angel.
Come on, Willow's just doing her job with her best friend here.
All right, you make a good point.
If he's going to stay and fight, shouldn't we take out some demons?
No, I'm
Oh, you're going to pop it.
yeah, I'm running away. Apparently, they decided I'm running. They quarterbacked me into running away.
And
Who does that?
because I need magic supplies to use my special ability, I'm not going to discard the 3rd one. I'm actually going to hang on to that.
Okay, but you also caused this problem.
I do.
Uh-oh.
So we find out that a vampire lurks at the Summers residence. So
Oh,
I did a
wow.
lot of good. cleaning that one. And
like,
a
you got
townie
me.
needs help at Glorificus Mansion. So I've made things considerably
Oh
worse.
my
You
god.
did.
You really are Buffy, eh? You just try to help and look what you did.
All right, so now we have.
Well, now I get to move 1 vampire towards the nearest townie.
Oh, great. So we have, I guess, you caused more problems than you solved.
Do you want to discard that for me?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow. Wow. Okay, well, Buffy,
All right. Well, now I have choices. I can save this townie and soak 3 wounds, which might be the best option if we want to protect townies and heal the wounds later.
Well, there's 3 threats on the board. It looks like there's going to be 3 townies that are going to be gobbled up.
Yeah, I don't like that plan. I really want to get Slayer victory here in this playtest, so I'm actually just going to run over. I'm going to soak the wounds of three vampires over here.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I'm a hero, guys. That's what
Glory.
I do. And then Giles is he's going to jump over to Sunnydale High. And well, now it's up to you, Dan.
I'm gonna go get holy water.
Oh, so you're just abandoning that townie to death?
100%.
Well, at least you're honest about it.
Okay. Almost all of them. Willow.
Yep. Things are looking a little dire here, and it looks like we're going to be taking a lot of wounds because of some of the decisions that were made. Now, with my last action, I'm going to use the extra action on my magic supplies to remove 1 wound token from the Apocalypse track.
That might be the best choice.
Action economy to its finest.
Thank
Value
you for
play.
doing a
Value
good job
play.
in my recklessness.
Well, we got to balance each other's strengths and weaknesses.
Okay, so now we've completed 1 full round, and we've seen what happens when you fail a check. We've seen what happens when, you try to do something good and you end up doing something bad. We got demons and vampires spawning on the board and being defeated on the board. Townies are popping out of their houses, causing mayhem. Now it's time to see what happens with the monster of the week and the rest of the bad guys. All of your actions are done. Now we're going to move to the games phase.
So at the start of the monster activation, the first thing we have to do is activate the big bad. Now, in this case, they haven't revealed themselves yet, so they're not on the board attacking characters. But what they do is they have a end of round ability. In the master's case, he spawns a vampire at each location containing a clue token.
But we don't
haven't
have
discovered
any, so we're good.
Exactly.
Oh, that's really fortunate, actually. Good.
Next, the monster of the week will activate.
Oh, good.
Darla here, during monster activation, Darla follows normal monster activation rules, then activates a second time. So what is normal monster activation rules?
So Darla is going to move 1 location towards the nearest townie. If there were any in her location, she'd attack them, but there's not.
That's right. So she's going to move like a normal monster would. So we get to choose, right? We can choose here or here. Player choice, or do they just...
In this case, because neither of those townies is defended, there's nothing really to distinguish them based on our actions, we can choose.
Okay.
I like this choice, personally, but, I mean, what do you guys think?
Well, we're losing 2 townies no matter what. Maybe we leave the one that's safe, right?
Yeah, I agree with that thought. And we just have everything move over here.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay. So Darla goes over to Summer's residence, and then she gets a second activation, which means she's going to chomp down on that handsome-looking townie right there. All right, done.
Somebody could have protected that townie.
I know, but no. And then we've got, and now that the monster of the week is activated, do we then move toward the is there an order for demons and vampires? Do demons go first and then vampires second, or is it just YOLO on the board?
We can activate them in any order.
Okay, so
I like the
there's a
idea.
wound here.
Yep.
Over, we'll save the best for last. So the demon at Restfield Cemetery is gonna go.
Send him up to Summer's residence.
Sure.
And then this vampire will eat this townie, unfortunately for us.
See you later. She's gone. And then we got Glorificus's mansion, which is the slaughter field,
But it's okay because I'm there to protect this townie, so I just soak 3 wounds.
and no longer at Slayer status.
No, but that's okay. We can heal the wounds away, so I'm not stressed about it.
And that's it for that particular activation.
So now we shuffle the item deck again.
And then we twist back all of our.
Yep, our action tokens can flip back over, and we're ready for the next round.
Now, what do we do with the first player token? Moves from nat to nat. Perfect.
Yep.
No, from one character to the next character. Is there a particular reason why we have that first player token doing it like that? Or is it just to shake up the action economy?
Yeah, it's to shake it up so you're not doing things in the same turn order every round.
Yeah, good.
As Giles, since this is his first turn, I'm going to discard these tomes right away. I'm just going to grab this artifact. Oh, it's the blessed sword. I can fight to slay 2 demons in my location. Oh, well. And anytime I am wounded by a demon, I have to do a check, and if I succeed that check, I slay that demon after placing the wound on the apocalypse track. Right.
Wow.
And if the monster of the week is a Kapla, which unfortunately it's not, I can discard this artifact to defeat it. It's pretty
Very
exciting.
useful.
So I'm going to move to a place that has demons, but only...
I think you've got pretty good. Yeah, you've got demons there.
Yeah, I'm going to jump over here. That's got some demons.
Done. All right.
All right.
Nice. I'm gonna get my holy water.
Yeah. Let's try this for round 2. We need some garlic too.
Was that holy water really worth the life of a townie, Dan?
It's worth the life of 2 townies.
There we go. So back over to you, Willow.
Savage.
Yeah, I
Can you use some more of those magic supplies right now, huh?
I could use some more of those magic supplies, but I'm really thinking about going and helping Buffy. Because if we can clear out those vampires and demons, we can search Glorificus Mansion for the garlic we need.
Now, if I stun all of them, we can also search the mansion.
Oh, that's true too.
Mind you, I have to do a move action, so it might be prudent if you're here anyways.
Oh yeah, that's a good point, because then I can search once you've stunned the enemies.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I love how you guys have to work together. So, from the magic box
To Glorificus Mansion.
All right, it's time to go Hulk. Buffy does her special. I'm gonna dust this vampire.
You could, for total action economy right now, you could dust the vampire, discard the stake to dust the other vampire, and then when it gets back to Willow, she can use her magic supplies to kill the last demon.
This is a very good point.
Total value, but you'll lose your stake.
Yeah, and I really like the idea of Buffy just wielding Mr. Pointy.
Mr. Pointy. But it's good to let people know that there's that kind of action economy where it's almost like an instant, like interrupting kind of action to be able to discard your item without using any of your action economy. So you're stunning the other vampires, I see.
Yeah, maybe for the best, actually. I'm gonna actually dust that vampire. That sounds like actually a good plan. And then for the move action that comes with my special, I'm gonna jump over to. We need garlic, right? Garlic's right there. I don't need to move for that, but I have to move. So I'm gonna get some magic supplies for Willow.
Done.
That works for me.
And now we get to spawn an event, make things even crazier.
What'll be great is when this immediately puts things in Glory's Mansion.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Vampire spawns at Rosedale Cemetery. Rosedale's in the south, guys.
It's okay, come
A
relax.
demon terrorizes UC Sunnydale.
Ooh.
And if there are any vampires adjacent to a character, they move into that character's location. Well,
So he's not adjacent, he's not adjacent.
this guy's adjacent to a character. Or,
Yep, so he'll move into Willow's location.
There you go.
that did backfire.
Well, that's great.
Why would you predict that?
There's always a little backfire going on.
Yeah, all right, but it's okay. Willow has magic supplies.
Yeah,
We're
she's
happy.
good. She's got it.
Giles is going to...
Do something useful.
I'm going to use my fight action here to slay 2 demons. I mean, there's only one. But
Yeah.
It works.
He's gone. Back to you,
It does say
Xander.
up to 2 demons, so...
I can give an action to Buffy. No, to Willow.
Oh, if you give me an action, that'll be way more efficient, because I can take
Yeah.
out that vampire and search on my turn.
Yeah.
That'd be perfect. I like that plan.
So I can use my special to give you an action and give myself an action. So what are you gonna do?
Well, so for my action, I'm going to dust this vampire
Okay.
with my magic supplies.
So with my action,
It doesn't use up one of your action economies?
No.
Oh, so it's just a bonus action throughout the game.
Yeah.
Go utilitarian
I'm
Xander.
going to meet you here. So once you get that garlic, I can pass you the holy water.
Ah, teamwork makes the dream work. All right. And now we get to see just how much mayhem caused. Flipping the event. A vampire looks at Angelus's mansion,
Oh, good.
and a townie needs help at the Restfield Cemetery.
Oh, well.
Oh, that's not so bad. Replace any one townie on the game board with a vampire.
Oh, we can replace one of these ones that's threatened.
Yeah, let's get rid of this guy.
Done. Peace. I don't
he-
like that guy anyway.
He became a vampire.
Done.
That's what you get for being a troll.
Typical day at high school.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was the high school student. I feel bad. Maybe we should have chosen the one in Angelus' mansion.
Yeah, he had it coming.
Yeah, exactly. The vampire's been.
So I guess we're back over to Willow now.
Yeah, now I kind of want to know what we're dealing with before the end of the round, so I'm going to go ahead and use my special token. But instead of for using it for my special ability, I'm going to use it to search Glorificus Mansion.
This is for you, sir.
You're going to grab 2 garlics. Now, because you're on the same space as Xander, trading doesn't require any actions or any economy. It's just straight up you could do it as a free sort of free form action throughout your turn.
Yep, that's correct.
So you could do is you could give 1 garlic and trade 1 holy water, and then you both have the recipe for victory.
Yeah, then we can both try and get there. That gives us way more chance of actually succeeding this round.
Trying
go.
is for those who are unprepared.
All right, thank you, Yoda. I guess that makes it Buffy's turn again. I'm going to do what I said I was going to do, and I'm going to grab some magic supplies for Willow because I like the idea of Willow being equipped for mayhem and destruction.
There you go.
All right, we got one magic supply. Oh no, where is it?
Probably at the top of the deck.
Found the second one.
And then we got Xander's or Giles' turn.
Yeah. I don't know how you confuse those two.
I don't know.
There's a decent age difference. All right, I'm gonna go with. I'm just gonna use my special here, and I'm gonna grab the top 4 cards off the item deck. I'm gonna keep 2 of them, or potentially. Yeah. Oh my goodness! Weapons, tomes, magic supplies. I like the idea of just having an infinite supply of tomes, so I'm gonna do that and throw all those away. Because I am up to 4. Even though it says keep 2,
Yeah.
I'm just going to choose not to keep
Now, could
one
you have
anyways.
discarded something you currently have to replace one you choose? You just.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. I just chose to discard those instead of replacing
Xander, what
things.
happens next?
I'm going to head towards Darla.
Perfect.
Get her.
And then I'm gonna head towards Darla.
One jump.
Willow heads towards Dala, and now we've got back to Buffy.
All right, well, Buffy's kind of hanging out and lonely, so I'm going to...
Go kill something.
I feel like Buffy should always have steaks, so I'm just going to go to the crypt. And I'm going to grab some steaks.
Well, you're gonna leave this poor defenseless townie at Angelos'
Okay,
mansion.
don't you guilt me.
Wow, I'm just saying. You were giving some guilt earlier on about
Okay.
abandoning townies for greed.
Well, I got lectured
What is it, season
for it.
2? Okay.
All right. Giles, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to discard this artifact here, this tome, sorry, to grab an artifact. Now I have Orb of Nezla Khan. My fight action targets an additional baddie in my location, and I can perform a fight. Sorry, after I perform a fight or search, I can move to an adjacent location. This is really great. There's going to be a downside though. Yep. So when I'm wounded, I have to get rid of this orb. So it's like superpowers until somebody hurts me.
Oh, nice.
All right, I can. You know what? I can live with that. And I guess since every time I perform a search action, I can move, I'm just going to use a search action and just draw the top 2 cards.
Cool.
Seems to make sense. And it's tomes. Why do I get all the tomes and weapons? I don't want these. You know what? I'm going to get rid of these weapons because I can now slay 3 demons. And I
Wow.
can keep the tomes, and I get to do a move action. So I'm
Giles
just
is
going to
loaded.
move over to. No, I don't want to take wounds. I'm going to move over to the magic box.
You're gonna let that townie die?
Well, my
Wow.
orb of superpowers is more important to me than that townie is.
Ah, wow. I see.
Yeah, right.
Then I'm going to discard these tomes to get another artifact. It just seems like the right decision. I have Darkest Magic, so I can use a search action to discard this to slay all baddies in my location, and then I become evil.
Oh, what's becoming evil
Whoa,
mean?
whoa, that's an interesting new mechanic.
Oh, no. So becoming evil, one of my turns is replaced with this. And I do a check, and then one of these 3 awful things happens. Either between all the non-evil players, you have to discard 2 items, or one of the baddies activates, or you activate a monster of the week or big bad.
Wow.
And it's all
that's scary.
randomized because you're doing a check against the. Interesting. And then what happens after that? Then are you still evil or?
Oh no, then it goes back away. So you're only evil for 1 action.
Interesting, because everybody goes evil once at least in Buffy.
All right, Xander.
I'll fight Darla.
All right, we're gonna win this.
Let's
now.
do this. Discard those items. You were looking for a pentagram or an ankh. What do we get? It's a 1 in 3 chance. Oh my gosh. Evil eye it is. All
Yeah,
right.
you let me team grab.
Yeah.
Willow. You
All right, it's Willow's turn, and I'm going to show him how it's done.
Statistically.
Statistically, you should have won that one.
Here we go.
So I'm going to discard garlic and holy water.
And you're going to. Bum,
Pentagram.
bum, ba, bum.
that
Pentagram
time's
and
done.
pentagram gets met. Therefore, Darla goes. "Ah!" She
So this
disappears.
first clue token shows up at Restfield Cemetery because that's where Darla spawned. And immediately now we have to draw a new monster of the week. So this new monster of the week is Aegon.
Aegon.
Okay.
Aegon appears at Sunnydale High. So we take the same token and we put it back. So Sunnydale High just got a little deadlier. After monster activation, if Aegon shares a location with a character, that character becomes evil. He requires a pentagram and the all-seeing eye, and 2 weapons, which you just discarded all those
we're not gonna
weapons.
talk
So
about that.
great timing. It's 2 weapons to defeat Aegon. Now this plot card doesn't get revealed until that clue gets searched.
Correct.
Correct. All right. So Darla's gone. Peace, Darla.
All right.
See you, an angel. Okay. Buffy.
You know what? I don't need stakes. I definitely need weapons. So I'm going to the initiative base for weapons.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So this is great. All of your actions are gone.
Oh yeah.
And I enjoy this because
No, don't.
the master has the ability here. At the end of each round, a vampire lurks at each location containing a clue.
And he activates first, right?
Yep.
So he's going to put a vampire over there where that poor innocent townie is sitting there thinking she was all safe. And then we have our monster of the week. He activates, he shares the location with the character, they become evil. But he's already there with 2 evil dudes, so we'll call that a day. Now we get all the monsters to go. Vampire's going to gulp this townie. Gosh, you guys are about to become Scooby status.
All right. This vampire moves closer to the nearest unprotected
The
townie.
demon's going to go in there.
He's going to jump in here. This vampire's going to eat this poor townie.
Wow, you guys are Scoobies.
But this stunned demon that I so cleverly stunned is just unstunned instead of anything
This guy's
else
going to
happening.
go, where's he going to go?
He ate it.
He ate.
Townie.
Where are these 2 guys going to go?
They're probably going to go up towards this.
City Hall style. Done deal.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's the activation. So you guys would flip your stuff over again. So this is probably a good example to kind of like, end this playthrough here. You get a chance to see the game entirely, for things to be touched on. A couple things to make note of. If you have a garlic card and you decide to discard the garlic card and put garlic in a location, vampires cannot enter that location so long as the garlic token is there.
He actually bumps out demons too.
Bumps out demons as well. And then we have these little exclamation marks with red. What are those?
So
None of them have come up yet in this playthrough, but at the end of monster activation, if any certain conditions are met, they actually have special effects that trigger. So, for example, if there are any townies in the bronze after monster activation, they turn
Right.
into vampires. An interesting one to talk about is Angelus's Mansion, which says when rescuing townies here, rescue 1 additional townie. What that means is if a character shares a location with a townie after monster activation and there's no monsters in that location, you can actually remove that townie from the game board.
Which is good because it keeps the board state clean.
Exactly.
Right. Well, here we go. You guys, after the second round, you're not even down your second monster of the week yet to get you away to the big bad, and you've only got 4 spaces left until the Hellmouth opens up and ends the game.
Shouldn't we be like the best at this game?
I don't know. I thought we were the world champions for a while there, but one thing we didn't actually show was the plot cards. And what happens when you actually search a clue.
So yeah, when you're at a clue, you use just a regular search action to pull the clue off the board, and you flip one of your
And
plot
the plot
cards.
flips up. At the end of each round, spawn 1 vampire at either the Hellmouth, the Crypt, or the Catacombs, player's choice. So these plot cards just kind of sit like emblems. They just sit and play, and they just modify the game and make the game harder. So the closer you get to the master, the harder the game gets. The plot cards also reveal all of the victory conditions you need down below to defeat the big bad. So in this case, once the third plot is revealed, the big bad reveals on the board and it tells you where the big bad goes. So the big bad, I believe, is in the Hellmouth. So this particular one, the master, when the big bad appears, you treat it just like a monster of the week in terms of collecting all the requirements and challenging. And what's crazy about it is that when the big bad is in play, there's extra special powers that make the game even more difficult. And if we had got to that point in the game with this kind of apocalypse track, it would have been literally the Hellmouth opening and it just would have been game over.
Oh, yeah.
And we can definitely say that when you go and you saw just how many checks it took to beat Darla, could you imagine going there with all these requirements and trying to check? The good news is, as the plots get revealed and you know what you need, you can start to collect your items and hold them for when you get to the final confrontation to defeat the big bad. Once you defeat the big bad, you check your score, and you go for the next big bad, another episode, brand new game, and have a good time. So I'll take this opportunity to thank you, Dan, for playing Xander, and Nat for taking us through the game here with Giles and Buffy, and thank you, Aron, for Willow. If you have any questions or concerns about the gameplay, we are Team Lynnvander. We were the ones that sort of created the game. You can ask anybody at Jasco. Please check us out in the comments down below on YouTube here. You can go and check us out on Facebook at Lynnvander. You can check out Jasco Games. And please enjoy the game. Let us know what you think. BoardGameGeek.com. We love you guys.